This is Dr. David Schein, and welcome to Business Law 101. One of the more interesting criminal cases is Kyllo. And what happens in Kyllo is the police suspect that Kyllo is growing marijuana in his house. Now, marijuana is legal in a lot of places today. I've heard the U.S. government the Congress is actually taking a vote soon to see if they want to legalize marijuana nationwide. Because so many states have made it legal or not criminally prosecuted. And it's raising some issues because people can't legally buy it in Oregon and then transfer it and then travel to Texas where it's illegal and so forth. In any event, Kyllo's growing marijuana in their house. They're probably using a lot more water, but one of the ways you do this is you put tinfoil in the windows and you then put sunlights, special grow plant lights all around the house. Well, what happens is that heats the house up. The house it bleeds through the walls. And so when they go by with this thermal imaging device, the house glows because it's much hotter than the nearby houses because they're cooking the plants. They're, obviously growing the plants. So you may say, Dr. Schein, how would you know in such detail? I actually have been in one of these houses after the police had taken the marijuana plants away. It was very interesting, a very sad story. A friend of mine was a school teacher, and she had two bad sons. And one of the two bad sons was growing marijuana in a little tract home up in the woodlands. And after the police had taken him away and put him in prison, and they took the plants and the grow lights. And there was still a little bit of furniture left. So my friend called me and said, I've got this horrible situation. And I have a van. So I went over to this weird house up in the woodlands, and I got to see the tinfoil in the windows. And the house was in horrible condition because if you put all these plants all over the house, the carpets were ruined, and because there were hoses all over the place to keep the plants watered, because you put a lot of heat lamps over the plants burn a lot of water too. So anyway, the house was quite totaled, but I guess the landlord gave her the opportunity to come take some personal effects out of the house, and that was my responsibility to help her take this stuff to a storeroom that she had rented, and that was my limited responsibility. But in any event, it was very interesting to see the process. So, and I don't know whether they used the thermal imaging device. I think they just caught this fellow selling marijuana and, went and busted his house and used a search warrant and so forth. But in any event, in Kyllo, the police suspect this guy, but they don't have enough evidence to get a search warrant. They drive by his house, they shoot the thermal imaging gun at the house, and the house glows red because it's so much hotter than the nearby houses. So they go to the courts and they prosecute this guy, and they go get a search warrant. And what happened was the Supreme Court said, no. You had to have specific suspicion about this house and about this person. You can't just go shoot a thermal imaging down the street. That is a search. So it's a very interesting case. I was surprised at the outcome. I would have thought the court might have gone the other way.